Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM. This is episode 76 of Career Mode, and we are into the final two stages of the Giro. You do it from the lead. 6 riders have escaped. They do not have a large advantage as of right now, as others have decided those 6 would not be the 6 allowed off the front. Blue Jersey trying to secure his King of the Mountains. And Vashek comes forward for now. I don't mind letting these guys get off the front. We got to make sure no real contenders get away and certainly don't get to a huge advantage. Garzone has made it. Let's go ahead and use him and Shergai to protect the 2 leaders. Grant's with a +4, Martinez with a +5, Piccioni with a +5, so we do have a good amount of quality out of those main guys. Azumi can back off a little bit. Alright, for this stage we are keeping an eye on the top 10, and as long as these guys are pulling them back, I'm going to allow them to do so, because 17, the second group, 2 of those riders are in the top 10 overall and have just sat up. It looks like we do not want them. Okay, another group is trying to chase. I think at the same time it's really more about others trying to attack, but I don't want anybody in the top 10 getting away. Van Eetvelt may not be a big challenge, but he's only 4.5 minutes down overall. Now they all come together. It's still only a minute. I'm not interested in letting any top 10 riders escape like this, so we are putting a pretty hefty chase in before 130k to go, by the way, before we get to the climbing. And you can see we have the biggest climb is the first of 3, and actually each subsequent climb is easier than the previous ones. 8 riders trying to go clear. They've managed to pull away a bit, so I think we're going to be kind of stuck here just letting this happen. Vashek could take over, and we could let one of these guys try to recover, like say Azumi. What happens if we let Vashek and lift tempo a bit? Will Azumi recover? Or what will it take for Azumi to recover? I'd like to get them back kind of in check. Maybe we do the same here and have Remark set up as well. But meanwhile, the gap is at 2.5 minutes, so this front group, right, 4.5 minutes is absolutely the limit. So I'm not interested in setting up more than what we have right now with 2.5 minutes. That group is not going to be winning the stage today if I have anything to do with it. And right now I certainly do. But Azumi is doing better than he was. It's Piccioni. And it's not hurting Piccioni either. So maybe, Martinez, why don't you go ahead and protect for Mark? We're only 14th right now anyway, so might as well, right? 104k to go. We need to get somebody to go get water here in a moment, though. Like, say, Garzone. Vashek and Shergai not going too deep, and the gap's holding at 2.5 minutes. So they've got plenty left. Azumi is looking much better than he was and could probably resume. And then we could maybe protect Vashek. Let him recover a little bit. For Mark, although protected his -4, he's not recovering. So even with Martinez's help. So here's what we're going to do instead. Let's take Shergai, and we'll protect Shergai instead. Vermark just doesn't have it, that -4. The -4 is hurting him too much, so let's just get him out front and use him up early. Now, before we start climbing, things are going to change here. 2.5 minute gap, so they've successfully held it at just 2.5 minutes. All 26 there together, and for Mark. Mark's going to infinite relay here. Azumi. Just follow him. In fact, maybe I don't want to form a train right now. This is not that kind of territory. Okay, Piccioni. Not protecting Vashek. No, thank you. And Movistar comes forward. So we did our job. Azumi, do not follow the guy who's going to go backwards and get dropped. Azumi can replace Piccioni. No, we already have Piccioni recover. Replace Garzone. Okay, Vashek is going to need to gel early, though. He's not going to last long. I mean, we did do something here. We did do something that is ultimately going to cost us some guys. Keeping that breakaway in check is going to come with a cost, with an expense.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The Peloton has significantly
Pace has lifted. I mean, we're down to 128 in the Peloton. It looks like another 7 to 10 riders are all about to get dropped as well. I don't know how they haven't already officially lost contact as they begin to finally 115. Azumi is going to begin his fade. And Chugai needs to gel up. Oh, shoot. Oops. I forgot to switch that one back. I switched Piccioni. Okay, so who is now without? That is Azumi, who is protecting Krantz. So switch that one up. Down to 91 riders. And see, this is the back end. We're about to lose another 10, 15, 16 riders now.
Some riders definitely won't be able to keep up.
There's another group coming off the back, 14 riders. We're down to 61. 61 left. There's Uchabrooks. Far too early for an attack to succeed. By the way, the gap to the very front is still 2.5 minutes, so it's not changed. Movistar is keeping those guys at the right distance away from the Peloton, and they are losing firepower. And here goes Chugai. He's about to drop out the back. We're down to 44. Garzone also about to go out the back. So that's a little bit worrying that we're down to 41 already. And Piccioni. 14K to go. I don't want to lose Piccioni. I think all three guys can make it to the top on their own. So for now, we'll kind of hold off. But if it is, worrying, as we're down to 40 now, if it does get worrying, Piccioni will definitely get sacrificed for the sake of Krantz. Down to 38. And we just picked up a handful of breakaway riders that are going to go out the back quite soon. Little breather coming up soon. Van Eetveld, one of those top 10 guys that's in the break. Krantz not doing well. 7K. Let's protect. Down to 25 here.
Falling behind. A team leader is falling behind.
5.4K. Still 2.5 minutes. Let's kind of check in on what's up there. Vine, Fisher Black, Van Wilder, Berwick, and here's the front group of 8. Shamposen, Rodriguez, Foss, Koos is here. So Koos is the one we now need to watch out for. 5 minutes. And then Osorio, who is the King of the Mountains leader. It's a very strong group of 8. They are about to hit the top. And we are okay. Gaps out to 3:45 though, so it is increasing. with just 25. I want Movistar to continue to kind of lead this thing, but they only have 2 guys to support. Let those 2 run that support. Let's go ahead and have Martinez get water real quick before we go over the top and things get crazy. And we're looking at Van Eetveld hung on, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6. It's about 7 top 10 guys plus Krantz, and then 1 up the road, who is now 6 minutes up the road, so that is worrying. Movistar, we're back up to 32 as well, so guys are coming back. Garzone is not, he's over 4 minutes down. We need to start using Piccioni on the front because we seem to be no interest in the chase, which is going to let the race get away from us. So Piccioni's going to have to do something here. Keep an eye on Krantz and his heart rate. If it starts to go up, then Martinez is going to have to take over. Piccioni already pulls back a minute, so that was important. So we can ease off here. And there we go. Now we get some support from Movistar in the chase. 6 minute advantage. Again, we're looking no change. Koos has been dropped. Okay, that's good. Koos got dropped along with Champison. So he is already over a minute down, which means he's less than 5 minutes ahead. And with a 65 time trial, he will not be a threat to the overall. So I think Piccioni can ease off a little bit more here. And this climb, I'm going to again assume that these guys can handle themselves, as in Krantz and Martinez. And then we will train the final climb. This is a shorter climb here and has a long descent for recovery. Shoot, Martinez. Fisher Black, Shaw, Piccolo. Close enough that we can watch these guys at least. There's Koos coming back. So there's the last top 10 rider. Van Eetveld gets dropped. Giro. There's Gegenhardt going backwards. I think he was in the break. So was Berwick. Bookman going backwards. There's Steinhauser. Steinhauser was in the top 10 a short while ago. He's 11th. Guerrero is 12th. Piccioni is going backwards, but so is Ucha-Brooks. Martinez did not make it back up there, but Krantz is okay. He is recovering. Piccioni. Wait for Martinez. 23K to go. We took care of that water earlier. Okay, these two work together. Now if these guys make it back up, Ucha Brooks had 2 teammates that pulled him forward. Okay, Martinez just follow. Piccioni, bring us up there. 22 riders at the front. We're on the flat right now.
15 kilometers remaining.
6 minute advantage to the front, and Piccioni, Martinez have made it back-ish. They had for a moment anyway.
This downhill will allow the riders
now we're back in contact. Oh, big crash right there. And it took out Martinez as well. So Taberi has wiped out Martinez. Taberi from 15th place. That's it for Martinez. Let's hope he is okay to continue. I mean, it's stage 20, 21's time trial. He's on his own, but that sucks. Let's go. Well, Movistar doesn't seem to be interested anymore again, so Piccioni, while recovering right now, is going to have to continue to work, I think. 7 minute advantage. Let's check on who's ahead of us. 5 minutes to Rodriguez. Ironsman is 9 minutes down. 7 down for Very. So being 5 minutes ahead, that's already danger zone. That'll bring him within 2 minutes. Here is Osorio. And then Foss, 12 minutes down. We are 7 behind him. So he'd be within 5 minutes. So Piccioni has to work, but not crazy hard here. And Martinez is okay. Martinez is okay. So 25 in the group. And we are almost to the final climb, which is 7 kilometers in length at 9%. The Medissimo. We start now contributing. And we're down to, let's see here, how many? 9. Is that right? 3, no, 2.
We're into the last 5 kilometers.
7. Or I'm just on Court Nielsen right now, right? Yeah. 7 other riders in the top 10, plus Krantz. So 8 are here. So 2 have been dropped. Foss is attacking halfway up the climb. Krantz, this is where we need to follow Piccioni, and Piccioni needs to gel now. For now, we'll go with the contribute, 6K. So you know what? Just go. Let's. O'Connor's trying to attack. This is it. This is the final climb, folks. 5K to go. Connor's attack has been negated. Now Garcia, Trago trying to attack. Piccioni doing his job. Garcia now attacking. Piccioni is just running out of energy. Garcia is 10th, 5:23 down, so he is not the threat, but Krantz, 4K to go. Let's just climb our pace and force them to try to hang with me. So many guys I can drop, really, because we have that 84 mountain right now and very good stamina. 3.4K. Piccioni's done. Meanwhile, Martinez can gel. And I think we can get him climbing at an 85 also.
Watch out, a team leader is falling behind.
3K to go. Garcia, the only one who's escaped. Moss getting a lead out here with 2.7K. Krantz, time to go faster. Push harder. Down to 19 in the front. Down to 10. Make that 9. 8. 1.7K. Foss takes the stage ahead of Masnada. Garcia's already somebody we're coming back towards. 1K to go. And Krantz is attacking for the finish line. Garcia is going to gain a few seconds, but we are not beaten. We are going to remain in the lead here, heading into the final stage. That's 7th on the stage itself. And then Martinez and Wilder, Redaloo, that's who he's going to be with. And Piccioni, actually Martinez ends up well ahead of Piccioni as he comes around the last 500 meters. But there's Vlasov. Vlasov did not do well on that one, so he's going to lose a bunch of time. Vlasov was 2nd place, right? Piccioni finishes well, 30th. We did what we needed to do there. We are going to be in a stronger position than we were entering the stage with 1 stage to go. Garcia gains about 15 seconds, but again, he was only in 10th place. The rest were breakaway riders, the top 5 today. Verona, Moss, Jorgensen are the only ones who get same time, and then we start gaining a bit of time over chasers, and they're spread out all over the place. Martinez loses 2 minutes after that crash, and Uche Brooks was behind him, so big loss for them. Tiberia, the one who took out Martinez after he solo crashed and Martinez got caught up in it. finished a minute further back. Piccioni, after that big lead out into the final climb and during the descent leading up to the final climb, ends up 8 minutes down. And here is that general now. Krantz 3 minutes ahead of Moss. One stage to go, folks. One stage. And Moss does not look to have great race day condition, and we are a +1 already on time trial, meaning fitness peak. I don't think Moss is having great fitness peak. Vlasov is 3 minutes down. Actually, Vlasov's the one that I didn't think. Moss has been doing fine, but Buitrago 3:17. I mean, there's a close battle for the podium, for second, third, with 4 guys in close contention. O'Connor, Vauquelin, Garcia moves up to 7th, Koos 8th, Veer 9th, Uchobrooks falls to 10th after he spent a lot of this race up near the top. Martinez is 13th. The 2 minutes that he lost, 7:48, would actually be in contention for a top 10. He would be 10th right now, and fighting for 9th, 10th, 11th place. From 2 minutes down, it's going to be a difficult ask to get into the top 10, but never mind that fact. We are here for the main one, and that's Krantz, and we have done what we've needed to do. In the points classification, he's actually 10th. Koish just 3 points ahead of Sam Bennett. There are points available for this last stage, but neither of them are going to earn any, so that should wrap up the points classification. Osorio comfortably wins the blue jersey. Krantz was actually 4th. He'll win the under 25s as well by 5 minutes. Martinez, that one we've definitely got wrapped up. Martinez is 6th, Piccioni 12th. And we are 3rd as a team, half an hour down on EF and DSM. And a lot of that is breakaway specialists who gained gobs of time on a few stages. Otherwise, we were generally the first team with the 3rd guy across the line in most stages. All right, as we ride through this final stage, I know that I'm going to end up with a bit of a long episode here. So be it. It's the final episode of the Giro. Looks like 74 is a pace that we could push beyond as we set off. So we'll try a 76 here with Vashek. As these first riders, it's important that we lock down what is that consistent tempo that needs to be set. And in the case of Vermark, we're definitely not going hard enough. But in the case of Vashek, a 76 looks to be about right, maybe even more. So we'll try a 77 with Vermark from here and see if that drains faster, because Vashek does seem to be a little bit on the positive side already, and you have that red bar. So once the yellow bar expends, you're going to have an extra kilometer or so of red bar before you actually lose pace. Now, let's talk about the Giro Grand Tours. Let's assume that Krantz can hang on to a 3-minute advantage. I mean, we are seeing a minute 47 gap from Sidler to Abt, but I'm assuming we can be within that range, and at worst we're losing a minute. Even Vermark at 2:33 down with lots of spare energy isn't losing 3 minutes, but it's not a done deal. He's on a 0 race day condition, but he's also a 66 time trialist, and 77 clearly is not quite hard enough either. So for Azumi, let's start. Start with a 78. See if that is something we can maintain. Final kilometer for Vermark. Tax line 3:39 down, so it is possible to lose 3 minutes. Keep that in mind. But of course, Krantz is not a 66 time trialist. Final kilometer here as well for Vashek, and we attack the line 2:35. That's with a 71 for his time trial, and a 78 is holding up. So a 78 looks quite doable. We may be able to get away with more. First lesson. Based on that first or at least a podium from this, we can compete in a Grand Tour competitively for a win. But second lesson, it's against a weaker field. We are not looking at your best opposition. It's not Pogacar. It's not Bernal. It's not the best of the best. This many years into our database, I'd have to kind of look around to see who all are the best of the best, but I'm assuming that at least the 3 best guys aren't here. And we had our 2 best guys. We do have 1 more that was not present, but 2 of our 3 best guys are here, including the 2 best competitors. And it took a full team around them of support to be capable of doing that. Here's what I really get out of that as third lesson, though. We are not capable of doing much minute 46. That's much more representative with a 74 of the kind of time we're losing that just misses current top 20. And you're looking at specialists for the guys within a minute. So half minute to a minute lost for a more competitive rider, as Treguy is going to be up next. We are not capable of leading the race for long periods of time, though. We really struggled to have guys in place that can run really long kilometers and still manage to get through climbs. And so we would need a couple riders dedicated not just as claiming domestiques, but as flat specialists that can do those long kilometers on the front, chasing a peloton and keeping them at bay. Because we 2-3 times when we led, the field was like, yep, it's all yours, have at it. We struggled with those guys keeping up with the peloton. We struggled with those guys suddenly not being present to support our climbers, and those stages were far, far harder for us. So second place, good, no problem. First place with the leader's jersey, major problem, really tough. 79 seems to be a good tempo. We see him both in Treguy and Garzone. Garzone's only a 68. Treguy today is 72. So it's a little more representative. We'll see what their times are like. Just 30 seconds down for Treguy at the first check. Garzone, much weaker, is 43 seconds down, but that seems to hold a much better long-term pace with a 79. So Piccioni, Martinez, Krantz all coming up pretty soon. So with 8 climbers, it's good if you're battling for second or third. With 8 climbers, it's really hard without somebody that has a top flat rating. That's a minute 5 for Treguy down now. I think Garzone, a little bit weaker, is right where we want him to be. I think Treguy can handle an 80 for these last few kilometers. Garzone looks like he'll be down to that red bar right at the end. Minute 44 down for him. So, see how he's drifting further back. Piccioni coming up fairly soon. Treguy now 2K to go. And that 80 is going to just push him over the line. Red bar. Yep. Red bar attacking the line. Minute 48. Garzone holding that 79, I think, is going to just about get him there. Almost time for Piccioni. There you go. Garzone running out of energy on the finish line. 2:48 for him. +5 for Piccioni. That's a 78 time trial. And we've already seen a 79. We'll get you most of the way there, and he'll be able to push 80 at some stage. Piccioni with the 78 time trial and really good stamina and resistance should be able to put in a very solid time, and I think we can already start trying to push an 80. Let's see what happens if that drains him. Just 14 seconds down, 11th place at the first time check. And through this second time check, we're definitely pushing harder, and the 80 does not seem to be draining us. 80 seems capable for somebody in the high 70s of time trial. I think we can just about manage to do that later on if Krantz has something similar or Martinez has something similar. Alone, one strong climber with +4s, +5s for a week can do a lot. But he can't win. We are still very much, with the extreme difficulty, we're still very much, it takes a team of climbers. 4th place, 18 seconds down for Piccioni at the second time check. And with this 80 effort level, he's hanging in there. He is hanging in there. We need to get Martinez set, though. 76 for him. He's got a good race day condition. Can he crack the top 10 with that sort of level? Let's put him on an 80 from the get-go. That's a +5. Piccioni attacking the finish line. 8th place, 30 seconds down. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic time there from Piccioni. So, first time check coming up for Martinez, and we're going to start running checks on those guys behind us. That is 30 seconds down in 51st. Foss is going to come in 22 seconds. Dang, he's fast. Arnsman is going to come in at 24 seconds down. Brooks, these are all decent guys in terms of what they have. 16 seconds down in 17th. They all put in good times. Very should not have a very good time, though. Martinez has gone a little bit on the deep side, too. 30 seconds down there. Koos is going to come in 34 seconds down. Here is Garcia. 9th place, 10 seconds down, and now it's time for Krantz to set off, so we'll get him ready. He does not have a +5, I don't think, but that is still a good race day condition. It looks like that 80 that Martinez is running with a 79 time trial, Krantz should be able to run that. I'm guessing this is a +3 or 4. +4. Okay, we'll set off and settle into an 80 for Krantz. Piccioni finishes 9th, 30 seconds down now. So he's lost one position. Somebody behind, maybe a Fisher Black or a Tiberi, both going towards the top. Martinez, his 80 is a little too much for him, backing off to a 79. That 76 time trial is not great. That's a minute 7 at the second time check, by the way. 44th place overall, but a minute is still close. Coming up on that finish line and can attack a little bit. Minute 34 down for Martinez. Foss, though, I mean, we're not gaining time on these guys. That was a minute 2. Foss actually gains. Arnsman. Minute 9. Brooks now into the top 10 is, wow, 39 seconds. What sort of fantastic form is he on there? Let's check in on Krantz before Ver gets to the line. First time check. 8th place, 8 seconds down. Nice. Okay. Moss. Moss was also 8 seconds down. Vlasov 23. Buitrago 36. He's about to cross here. Let's see where he is. Minute 27. So big time loss for him. O'Connor 44. At the second time check, Vacalin was 38. Garcia 35. Really good time from those guys. Koos. Here's Ver coming in at minute 42. Martinez will not crack the top 10. That much is clear. Even with time gains on like Koos and Ver, it's not going to be enough to crack the top 10. 2:14. Gain a minute on him, but we were 2 minutes down. But remember, we should, if not for that crash on stage 20, we would have been 2 minutes better off. We would have been in the top 10 with Martinez, but that's not happening. Garcia, 50 seconds. That's a good time. 21st overall. There's Vacalin. 1K to go for him. That's a pretty good time that he's got. 51 seconds. O'Connor, who sits in 5th. Now down to the last 5 riders in this year's Giro to reach the finish. Should be just over a minute. No, 56 seconds, just under. Buitrago looks like he'll be over 2 minutes down. He will not sit on the podium. Minute 56. Vlasov coming in. He's over a minute down. He'll struggle to finish on the podium. Minute 16. Moss. Moss is looking pretty good for his final run here. It is 32 seconds, and now Krantz. Krantz has a minute, 1 kilometer to go. Under the kilometer banner, final rider. He's already out of yellow bar and attacking for his final 44 seconds down in 16th place. 44 seconds, so that's good. That is good enough for the general classification victory easily. lose a few seconds to like Tiberi, Fisher Black, Piccioni. These are the only guys who cracked the top 10. And then you got a number of guys in that 11th to 20th. But there is Krantz with the win. The pink jersey is his. Moss takes second. Vlasov third. O'Connor, Buitrago, Vaclin, Garcia Kus, Ucha Brooks, and Very hangs on for 8:24 down. Martinez crushed him today. Same with Ucha Brooks. Same with Kus, but they were too far ahead of Martinez to crack the top 10. Osorio wins the KOM. Koish hangs on and wins the points classification, as none of them scored points today. Krantz wins the under 25s by over 5 minutes. And of course, we take third in the team result. Top 10 on the stage is a good achievement. Krantz gets top 20 on the stage. Martinez, though, at a minute 35 down, and that was why we focused on Krantz and not Martinez, was that time trialing ability. Martinez stays 13th. He stays in 13th. So Tiberi gained on him, but he remains just 9 seconds ahead of him, and then 2 minutes behind these guys. But again, shave those 2 minutes off from the crash, and he's right there behind Ver. And actually, it looks like he might have missed. He might have been roughly 11th, right there with Arnsman, right about the same time. So Martinez may not have made the top 10 anyway. But again, we put the work in for Krantz, and Krantz comes away with the win. Positions definitely did change at the top. Buitrago is going to be disappointed to miss out, but at least he keeps the top 5. Piccioni finished 26th, by the way. Krantz kept his top 10 in the points, 4th in the KOM. So we're going to get some bonus points for all of that. And that is a fantastic result to win the Giro d'Italia. We are not going for the yellow jersey at the Tour de France, so that is not our target for that one. But I do think this year we are going to see if not just win a couple stages like we did a year ago, but we are going to see if we can come away with a points classification. That's going to involve a lot more work. It's going to take a lot more episodes to make that happen. But if I could do it with my character in the pro cyclist mode, I don't see why we can't do it with a more organized group here. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.